It's not really a fight about Hasan abusing the dog. It is right-wingers abusing our love for animals in order to damage Hasan's reputation with non-politically engaged people. That is what we're talking about. All right, let's see what VanillaMace said.
She's sitting in her dog bed and Hasan's like ranting about something, and then Kaya gets up and he's like, Kaya, like lay down, like lay back down. And then Kaya yelps, and then he's like, Kaya, like what? And then like whatever, Kaya lays back down. And then
Kaya, you're spoiled because of my mom.
And then all the Hasan, like people that want Hasan dead were like, he used a shock collar and he's abusing his fucking dog. And then everyone's just like doing all this. Everyone is literally, and it's not even the fact, it's just like the fact that people are going through these I'm seeing these insane lengths about like the lengths that people are going to see. They're like editing his picture and turning up the contrast where he showed the collar to be like, no, look, he put tape over it to fucking. I'm like, hey, what? Like, it blows my mind when people care so much about something like that when there's so many worse, more ridiculous fucking things.
Well, they don't care. They don't care. What happened is they got duped, right? They got tricked by a right-winger, right? They got duped. To untrick them, they still have their emotions. Emotions are not a, like, switch that you flip. They are a hormonal surge in your brain. So you feel this hormonal surge. I could take away the bad thing. I could take away the stimulus. I could disprove the belief that led to that hormonal surge, but the hormonal surge is still inside the brain, pickling it and cooking it and rewiring the neurons. Like, that is legitimately it. And so, like, we go, hey, it's not a shock collar. No, but, and then we have a conversation like where you were told it was a shock collar. You were lied to and manipulated by a liar. And doesn't it, you should probably be a little bit more irritated that you got tricked, right? Like, why are you so willing to humiliate yourself by being tricked? Why are you so addicted to being lied to? Why aren't you irritated by that?
Also, too, As somebody who's met fucking Kaya, because all these people on the internet, I'm like, I've fucking met that damn dog. That dog is like the sweetest fucking dog ever. And she's like the happiest girl in the fucking world. And the same people that are probably like, Hasan's abusing his dog. Bitch, your fucking dog is in your fucking stuffy ass 78-degree apartment all day long while you're at work for fucking 10 hours a day and you don't keep the fucking AC on and your dog is pissing and shitting all over the fucking floor and it smells like hamster fucking hospital in there. Okay? So I don't want to hear it. And then people... I'm like, girl, that dog lived better than me, okay? Let me tell you something. That fucking dog lived better than me.
I mean, that's the real crime. The real crime is that that dog lives better than billions of people. Why this gauge traction is because when you're a leftist, you're arguing that the world could be a better place, right? Like that's the number one thing. So when you are a left winger, you're saying the world could be a better place and people are good. That's fundamentally our worldview, right? And so right wingers and people who support the status quo, they say, no, this is the best possible world and any attempt to change it will actually backfire. That's the disagreement between conservatives and progressives in a very general sense. Conservatives say there is wisdom in our ancestors and in the people who came before us. Even if we can't prove it empirically, it is the height of hubris for you to think that you could change the world and make it better without understanding the tradition, etc. Tradition is tradition because it works. That's basically the conservative argument, right? And anything that disrupts that is risking destroying what we have. Because it's much easier to destroy than it is to build. That is the steel man conservative argument. That's me trying my best to make conservatism sound reasonable. That's as good as it gets. You're welcome. Now, progressives are people that say, no, the world is full of misery and pain, and it's unnecessary. And we know how to fix it. We know about science. We know about medicine. We know about engineering. We know about human psychology. We've learned a lot of things, and we could deploy those things to change the way that we live into ways that are going to be more in ecological balance, because the way we're living now is not sustainable. It's a bubble. It's an ecological bubble. It's an economic bubble. There are billions of people living in poverty. We can't keep going like this. We have to change. But luckily, we know how. We know how to make solar panels. We know how to make high-speed rail. We know how to build apartment buildings. We know how to clean up the environment. We know how to build in more ecological balance with the natural world. We could raise everybody's standard of living, and we could protect the ecological diversity of this planet, which is what its true beauty. We could have it all. That's basically the progressive point of view. We just need to coordinate ourselves for the collective interest, and we need to overturn those institutions and individuals who are profiting from their position. That's basically the leftist argument, right? Now, why am I getting so philosophical with it in response to Hasan dog fucking misinfo? Because Hasan represents leftism. Hasan is the largest representative of leftism on the internet, period. And for years and years and years, people have been trying to find something to prove that he doesn't mean what he says, that he's not really fighting for a better world, that you can't believe him when he tells you that we can fix these problems. And for a lot of people who are cowardly, for a lot of people who are beneficiaries of the status quo, for a lot of people who understand that what we say is true, but it's going to be a struggle and they don't want to fight. These people look at Hasan and they are desperate for a reason to ignore his words and his arguments, and they are desperate to tear down the community that he has built and the reputation that he has built. And so a lot of people who don't give any shits about dogs, they spread this as a way of discrediting Hasan. And then there are the dupes, the kind of Redditors, basically. We all know Redditor millennial, I love my doggo, okay? Like, we get it. I love my doggo too. So you trick the rubes around that political project, and then it just becomes a meme. Then people start cracking jokes, and the memes don't have to be true. They just have to be funny. But once you have the context of Hasan is accused of shocking Kaya, even if Hasan proves he didn't shock Kaya, we now have a universal idea that we're all grappling with. The conversation gives fodder for memes. So now you could do memes about funny memes of any kind of electricity thing happening. You could do comedic exaggeration, because we're all familiar with a unifying argument over whether Hasan shot Kaya or not. So now you could do the memes, and the memes give it a life of their own. This is not a conversation about truth. This is a post-truth world we live in. And I want you to understand that sometimes we do this kind of shit too. It's not like we're any better. Like, for example, the couch fucker meme with JD Vance. That was based on fucking nothing. That wasn't true. But people spread it around because conservatives are so fucking annoying about sexual propriety, right? So it's funny to imagine a conservative doing something depraved like fucking their couch. And, you know, JD Vance looks like a guy who masturbates a lot. Like, I get it. Like, there is an element of truth there. And then the memes took off. And so now he's forever a couch fucker, even though there's absolutely no truth to it. And now Hasan is experiencing something similar. Now, one is the vice president of the United States, and one is a Twitch streamer guy. Like, it's one thing to speak truth to power about a guy who holds tremendous power over us and make fun of him so that you can say the emperor has no clothes. That's fine. But when you're just discrediting an advocate and an activist based on lies, and they are really pathetic lies. Kaya is adored. Kaya is well cared for. Kaya is, and this is the other element, chat. It's a class element. Hasan is a wealthy guy, and one of the things that people do when they're wealthy is they spend their money. And one of the ways that Hasan spends his money is ensuring that Kaya is an extremely well-trained dog. So when you have a dog like Kaya, who's not just like moderately trained, but extremely professionally trained, that looks weird to a lot of people who don't know how to take care of your dogs, because you don't have to train up your dog to own a dog. The dog could just chill. And as long as they have a good temperament, as long as you keep the doors closed and the backyard fenced, they don't really need to be that well trained. They could still be your companion and your friend. And dogs are very intelligent, and they will pick up on some commands just pretty much on their own. So like, seeing Kaya as disciplined as she is surprising to a lot of people, and they have a conspiratorial response, which is she must not be well trained. She must be getting abused. So you have a lot of elements there. It's like, one, Kaya is well trained. Most of these people have never seen a well trained dog in their life. Two, it's a political attack against the left, because for the left to work, people have to be really good. That's the narrative, right? The conservative narrative is leftism sounds good on paper, but people just aren't that nice and good. Whenever you build a system that relies on people being nice and good, it's going to fall apart because there are bad people in the world and they'll exploit it. And the leftists are naive. That's basically the conservative argument in a nutshell. Now, I happen to know something. Hasan doesn't abuse Kaya. So this scandal is just going to eventually run out of steam.
Living lavish. Like, y'all wish you lived Kaya's life. Like, it's that dog is spoiled like a fucking motherfucker.
Even if you desensitize from that, it doesn't change the abuse because there was no dog shock. The problem that you have is, the problem with your argument is that, first of all, you're on an alt account, a fake account, which is just, get out of here. Get your main account in here. SSSSSDQQQSCD2. Get a real account. Don't come in here with your alt account, you fucking pussy. Hop on your actual main. You are in an environment of misinformation. And I think it's kind of a perfect storm where it's like people have a sadistic, cruel impulse. And it comes out the most on the internet. But in order for people to exercise that impulse, they have to feel like the target is bad, right? Like, I think even people that are pretty unintelligent, when they're abusing other people for no reason, they feel a little bit of remorse. They feel bad about it. So in order for them to get over their remorse, they need to, identify the target as a bad person. So that's really what's happening. What's happening is people want to have a target to exercise their sadistic impulses, and they need that target to be bad. And then when they have given themselves the permission to go after somebody and lie about someone or attack someone, because in their mind they're a bad person, if you come along after they've done it and say, actually, you're wrong, that person's a good person, they're not guilty of what you accuse them of, now suddenly they're the bad person. They're the person who attacked an innocent person. So you're not just disproving the wrong thing, you're actually converting them into the bad. They're actually a provably bad person. They went out of their way to attack someone who was innocent based on a pathetic lie on something they don't really care about. We did it, Reddit. And now the bad person is actually them. So you're not really arguing against whatever argument they're making. You're really trying to convince someone that they're a bad person. Good fucking luck. Good fucking luck.
Just listens to whatever he says. Like, when we were recording the Fearan podcast, Kaya was just like fucking walking around, and then she would come in the room and like lay on your feet and then go do her thing. Like, she's not like, why does he force her to lay down for hours though? He doesn't force her to lay down. It's like the same thing where a lot of people go to, like, when people go to work and they put their dog in a crate. It's the same thing in the sense where like he has the place command, and when he's streaming, she lays there for like a majority of the time. And she also has joint problems, and he said that he doesn't want her to lay on the floor, and because the bed is like better for her joints. And she's not like one of those dogs that's like super hyper. So I'm like, she's just kind of like a chill dog. Like, she would just fucking lay there. Like, big dogs like that are just eepy. And then also to people who are like, well, he's on stream so long every day, and then the dog just has to lay there all day. I'm like, and what about y'all's dogs when y'all are at work? Like, what? I'm like, and then as soon as fucking he gets off the stream, I'm sure that he goes and does shit with the dog. Like,
it's also not even true. Kaya gets up and leaves all the time.
I'm like, please, that dog lives better than half of y'all. Like, legit lives better than me, bro. Like,
right, 90%.
Yeah, and his family like takes her out and shit. Like, the dog is, please. Literally, I'm like, show me your dog. Show me your stank ass dog that you haven't taken to the vet in fucking 14 and a half years, please. Whose teeth are rotting out of its mouth. And when you tell it to sit, instead it jumps on the couch and licks somebody's face. Please. People are like, why do we go so hard? Like the lengths that I've seen people go to try to prove this point are so, it's like, y'all don't, like bitch, do this with the Jeffrey Epstein fucking files. Like, why are we like, literally, like, I'm like, holy fuck, like, why are we doing this? Like, come on, can we do this to something that's like important? Like, damn.
VanillaMace, queen as usual. One of the things that I've kind of noticed is, like, I don't mean this as any kind of shade on anyone. I'm just speaking for myself. I feel like if you don't have a kind of constant sense that you're pushing back against right-wingers in America in 2025, you shouldn't complain. Like honestly, this country is a fucking fascist cesspit. If your life is nothing but rainbows and unicorns and you're a multi-millionaire and you never have to push back against right-wingers, then you're not a good person. Like, I'm sorry, but like, no shade to anybody in particular, but if you're not getting backlash in 2025 then you're probably silent on too much shit. You're probably not talking about anything that matters. And honestly, I don't give a shit.
I have seen the Kaya stuff, and let me tell you, Kaya.
That's why I admire Ray so much for speaking out on so many things when she could easily just be corpo.
Kaya is, well, first of all, the clip did look horrible. The clip was really bad. It was so bad. And it's understandable why everyone was freaking out about it, but I can verify that Kaya is the most loved and spoiled and just the most well-trained and best little baby or big baby that I have ever been around and that I have ever seen. So big baby. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. You would think that this kind of outrage, we would have seen it towards like the genocide and stuff, but you know, this priorities in this world are not where they should be. But alas.
Some people just want to live a happy and peaceful life with the little time they have on this planet. Pathetic. Self-centered, weak, useless, privileged. Oh, it's my country killing people? Ba la-di-da, la-di-da. Oh, are we genociding? La-di-da. I'm doing great. Wow, okay, cool. I'm not saying that you need to join the resistance and grab an AK. I'm just saying maybe, I don't know, perhaps you should use that privileged life you have to say, hey, if you're a supporter of this stuff, I'm going to support the people that are fighting against it. I'm going to say this is wrong. We shouldn't be doing this.
It's herd mentality. I mean, I think from the clip, it's understandable why people were very concerned. But just knowing Hasan and knowing like
well, not all of us have a way to make six figures while being morally perfect. First of all, I would never claim to be morally perfect. I fuck up all the time, number one. Number two, I'm not saying that you need to like quit your job and live like a hermit. I'm not saying that or a mendicant. I'm just saying that person said, I just want to live my life and have fun and be joyous. And I'm saying that is different than I'm struggling to survive or I'm putting food on the table for my family. Those are two entirely different situations. One where you're being coerced and the other where you have tremendous wealth and privilege and you care only about yourself. And ultimately, and I mean to say this, I mean this so that everybody understands it, that eventually you're going to have to pick a side. I know that this is an uncomfortable point, but I'm going to tell you, eventually you're going to have to pick a side. Nobody actually cares. It's not really a fight about Hasan abusing the dog. It is right-wingers abusing our love for animals in order to damage Hasan's reputation with non-politically engaged people. That is what we're talking about.
I really hate you for how much you're feeding into this. You're making this bigger every time you talk about it. That's true.
I really need you guys. And I need you to start checking people who say stuff like this. But if somebody's like, Mike shouldn't be talking about this because it's giving it oxygen. I need you to start checking those people. Like, that's just delusional. That's ostrich brain. Well, if you just ignore it, it'll go away. Guys, if you just ignore it, it'll go away. You guys are actually boosting it. Personally, I'm going to use my voice and I'm going to say it's not true. It's not true. Kaya is probably the best cared for dog I know of. And the problem is that, again, it's like this. Destiny was able to take over live stream fails. Everybody put their head in the sand and didn't say anything about it. Destiny's committing sex crimes. People put their head in the sands, didn't do anything. Destiny called for my death. He called for Hasan's death. He called for the murder of children. He called for genocide. It was just all allowed. People going, oh, don't talk about it. It's drama. And here we are. Here we go again. Here we fucking go again. And it's like, what are you going to do? They just spread lies. You know how many times they try to spread lies about me and they all fail? Hundreds of times a year. They come up with some lie. And one out of 1,000 hits. And then I end up with a day ban or something. I got a 7-day ban like a couple months ago from an 11-month-old clip taken out of context. Like, they just spread fucking lies nonstop until one finally hits. Has Charlie ever talked about Destiny sex crimes? No, he doesn't care about that. It's not going viral on LSF.
The internet is absolutely fuming right now from a Twitch stream that went on from a creator named Hasan Piker for allegedly abusing his dog live while on his stream. I'm a professional dog trainer. I work with behavioral cases, and I've been doing this now for...
fuck you. You're an expert. Who gives a shit about experts? You fucking lefties are constantly trying to talk about experts. Ew. I could see that it's a dog chalk, but it's like, but you can't see anything.
Over a decade.
The guy I'm suing is trying to get out of it. Yes, it's the anti-Hasan. That's because I want you to understand this, chat. YouTube is primed for anti-leftist slop channels. That is an algorithmic decision made by YouTube at the highest levels. You don't get the same type of content on Twitch. You don't get the same, I mean, you do, but it's so much less popular. You don't get the same kind of content. They have to bot the fuck out of it. You don't see that same kind of content really pop off on TikTok as much. Like, that shit is so much less popular on other sites. YouTube wants right-wing slop, period.
Figured, let's see if Hasan Piker did the right thing, and maybe he should be held accountable, or maybe the internet is wrong about this.
There is absolutely no way a professional dog trainer is going to call this abuse. Even if you put it in the light most unfavorable to Hasan, no professional dog trainer will call this abuse, period. Because I would bet you there is a lively debate about vibration collars, the small shocks, invisible fences, things like that. They don't think that shit's abuse at all. They think abuse is hitting a dog. They think abuse is screaming at a dog. They think abuse is like actually harming dogs. Like, they're not going to call any of this, like, no professional dog trainer is going to look at that and call that abuse. The only type of person that would look at that and think it was abusive is somebody who's on Reddit, who's doing doggo. Doggo is more important than human. That kind of Reddit poster. There's like no professional dog trainer is going to look at that and think it's abuse. And I can tell you, she doesn't have a shock collar. She doesn't. Don't you? Why would you get mad? And this is a question I have to ask people. Why would you get mad at people who know Kaya and Hasan telling you it's not a shock collar? Unless you're a liar.
Let's go into this. I'm going to react to this right now. His dog's behind him on a cot. She's like a chow mix. He can see her getting off here. He's annoyed.
Oh, but just stop.
Okay. Corrected her. She yelped. She went right back into a down. He's upset, obviously. He's being a baby. She's being a baby, I think, he or she. So, yeah, stress is, sure. Okay, I agree with everything he's saying. We're gonna get into all of this.
I agree with everything he's saying. So this guy thinks she does have a shock collar. This guy is like, oh, maybe she does have a shock. Like, this guy's assuming that she has a shock collar. He's assuming the worst. The thing that's not even true. This guy is assuming it's true, and he's going, no, this isn't even abuse. So this dog trainer is saying, even in the case that there is a shock collar, which none of us have said, because she doesn't have one.
This is very interesting, especially for people who don't know anything about dogs, who don't know anything about dog training, and if this guy's on the line of losing his career or being banned from Twitch, this is very, very serious. So from a dog training standpoint, and I'll give you guys context as well. I used to be an animal control officer, and so I used to literally go to court for the state of New York.
You know what really pisses me off? You know what really frustrates me about these fucking frauds? Is like, it's one thing to spread lies about Hasan. It's one thing to spread this crap about Hasan to hate on him. But there are so many dogs that are destroyed every single day. I just saw a bunch of black Labrador puppies get turned into a pound or a sanctuary or adoption agency that I follow. And it's like, imagine if these disgusting lying scumbags spend even 1% of the energy they're spending on spreading these lies to help animals. It just pisses me off so fucking much. Mike, why are you feeding the goblins? You're giving them oxygen.
To determine whether or not dogs have been abused, they've been neglected, they've been abandoned. Dog gets off the cot. Obviously, he's frustrated because the dog gets off the cot. Now, from what he said at the end of the video, that the dog gets off the cot, goes out and chews on stuff, again, we have to look at this, right? Okay. Yes, the yelp, nobody wants to hear. Inappropriate time correction at that level, right? The correction timing, I should say, actually was perfect. The dog got off, he corrected the dog said, okay, fine.
Okay, he's assuming that it's real. This guy's assuming that it's real. And he's like, even if it's real, there's nothing wrong with it. That's what he's saying. Not only is he saying it's not a problem, he's saying, no, it's good timing.
Guys, this dog has already forgot about this. And again, from an animal control perspective, again, we never want to see dogs yelp. But guys, I've put dogs on collars and leashes, and I've been talking to somebody like this, and the dog runs at the end of the leash, and they hit the end of the leash, they go, ah! and they do the same thing. Abuse is showing up to trailer parks, showing up to houses, showing up to mansions, and seeing dogs fight each other to the death because the owners are afraid to be assertive. Dogs who are putting holes in kids, dogs who are hurting kids because the owners are not holding the dog accountable. That's abuse. Not feeding your dog for weeks at a time, that's abuse. Leaving your dog outside die is abuse. Neglecting your dog, throwing your dog outside of a car, a moving car. I've seen all these things. I've written reports for all these things. Yes, that would be abuse.
By the way, chat, like, obviously, I just leave this aside for a second. Doesn't this feel like a hilarious left-wing cultural victory? Because it is left-wing dog owners who are like, listen, you should never, ever use a shock collar on your dog, ever. That's a far left position, by the way. That's my position, motherfucker. I think positive reinforcement only. You know, that's my position. You motherfuckers don't believe that. You think we should beat children in school? What the fuck are you talking about?
Suggestion to you is apologize for lying about it. Say you made a mistake. I can understand why you did because of the pressure, but I wouldn't hide. I would double down and say, I did what I did. Kiss my ass. I literally.
Any trainer who thinks it's okay for a dog to be forced into a down for 4.5 hours isn't a good enough trainer to keep on my follow list? What? He doesn't do that. Keep in mind, stuff also happens off stream. The dog in question before and after streams is taken on walks to parks, is also off-leash trained. It appears very healthy. This is demonstrated later in the response video, though I do think he lied mostly because the type of audience will complain about anything. Hopefully he stops zapping the dog. These guys are just out there defending their own use of e-collars. So in other words, every professional dog trainer, no matter if they're right-wing or if they're left-wing, is all in on a conspiracy to cover up for Hasan. Will you be commenting on his personality? Wait, I thought it was about whether he's abusing the dog or not. Oh, it's not the collar I have a problem with. Moving the goalposts. Amazing shit. What I'm more interested in is the meta conversation, which is like, again, you need to understand something, and I want you to learn something. Parasocialism exists, and there's a lot of people out there who think that, oh, the solution to parasocialism is we're gonna tear down everybody on the left, whoever gets a following of people that like them. We're gonna tear them down. That's the solution to parasocialism. No, it's not. The solution is creating healthy democratic accountability, and that doesn't mean ripping someone down and deplatforming them because they made a mistake. Like, that's what's so crazy about this, is it's like Hasan didn't do it, they made it up, and then when people correct them for saying, hey, you made that up, they move the goalpost to, oh well, here's another example where Hasan did something bad with dogs 10 years ago. So you were comfortable with lying, and now instead of moving on, you're gonna try to push another thing? Hasan has this extraordinary talent to ride the top of the wave of haters throwing propaganda at him. It only lifts him higher. I mean, I agree with you. I actually think this is gonna backfire. The problem is about well poisoning. Well poisoning, you guys really underestimate how important well poisoning is to the right wing. The right wing is about putting people into boxes. We've talked about this before. Basically, you create a caricature and then you try to put your opponents into these boxes, these straw men, and then your followers or normies never even really look at what the person says. The reason why the story about Kaya is blowing up is because Hasan really doesn't have any scandals that are real. A comic technique of the right is to slander their opposition, blow it up through their media empire, harass anyone who calls out the obvious lies, and spread lies about them as well. This makes them toxic to be around and basically isolates them. Exactly. Like, that's obviously the case. You recently mentioned the concept of anchoring bias, and it really opened my eyes to a lot of online behavior / reaction. It's such a problem. Yes, anchoring bias. I mean, people are stupid, and the human brain has a lot of cognitive deficits, which is why you need to be educated. There's a reason why you're in school from 5 to 18. It's because you're very dumb, and honestly, you need more than that. You probably should be getting educated until 25. Like, really. Ethan Klein killed his dog through neglect and is continuing the same neglectful behavior and using a prong collar, yet somehow Hasan is the bad dog. The point is that no one cares about Ethan Klein. He doesn't... This is what you guys don't understand. The people attacking Hasan don't represent anything. This is what you don't understand. These are scumbags. They don't represent anything. They don't believe in anything. And so there's no motivation to attack them. But for Hasan, he represents a true threat to the status quo. That's the reality. I wish he understood that. I wish he understood that. And I wish he had understood that earlier. That is the reality. Nobody cares about Ethan Klein. They're not going to make a Fox News story about him. Unless the act act he commits is so extreme and so newsworthy in and of itself, nobody's going to report on that because Ethan Klein doesn't matter. He does not matter. Nobody looks to Ethan Klein for leadership. Nobody looks to Ethan Klein to challenge the billionaires. Ethan Klein is a parasite. He's a YouTuber parasite who sits in his mansion because ads used to pay a lot on YouTube. Like, you know, he doesn't represent a thing. But Hasan, look at what happened with Zoran. Zoran, it's the same thing. Like, by promoting Zoran, he represents a threat to the established status quo. Now, Zoran is a politician. He's going to disappoint us. But you understand the point, is that the establishment cannot have a radical out there who's one of the top influencers in politics. They can't allow it. So there is a huge effort to discredit Hasan. And if Hasan goes away, there's not going to be somebody else who instantly pops up and replaces him. I want you to understand that. If you think that, you're dumb, okay? If I get taken out, if Hasan gets taken out, we're not going to be replaced quickly and easily. If I stop streaming tomorrow, it's not going to blow anybody up. If Hasan stops streaming tomorrow, it's not going to blow anyone up. Not even me. Maybe I would grow marginally. Maybe I would get to 5K or something. But all that's going to happen is that pipeline, that place is going to go away and it'll be gone. This is what people don't get. And so there is a superhuman effort to destroy Hasan because Hasan is a major pipeline from the mainstream to the left, and they've got to undermine it. I wish Hasan was using his power more actively, and I think that's part of the problem is Hasan has not used his power actively enough. Not to criticize him too much, but he needs more allies who are like more intertwined with him, right? I think there's too many hangers on, not enough people that actually have his back. Like, that's kind of the issue. Scahill talked about this in his interview. He gets heat for going on Twitch streams from his colleagues, but Scahill recognizes the value in appealing to these audiences. Anyone who gives him heat for that is a fucking moron. Hasan goes out on a limb for so many people who don't deserve it, and I've never seen him go out on a limb for Hasan. I mean, I go out on a limb for Hasan because he's gone out on a limb for me. Vivian defended Hasan on Threads. Now, you can see who the real ones are by how much they defend Hasan. Like, literally. VanillaMace defended him. I defended him. Vivian defended him. You can see who the real ones are and who are the fakes. Like, it's really that simple. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, there's a lot of people that have been real quiet. And the thing is, like, I tweeted this on Friday, proved to be completely accurate, which is whenever there's a slander operation, you can see who your real friends are and who are your enemies and who are the people that are just, they fuck with you on their fair weather friends, right? A friend is somebody who stands with you when the weather is choppy, right? Somebody who's with you when things are good. They're not a real friend. A friend is somebody who's with you when you're down. A friend is somebody who is there to dry your tears, not just take a piece of your birthday cake. And I think there's a lot of fair weather people in this industry, a lot of social climbers, and we all should punish social climbing more.